around with all that, saying you ain't all that. Everybody at you wanna hit you like a ball bat. That thing make you look back, be like, man, who is that? You can say the hiney on a hiney, I'm pursuing that. A dirty south, goody rat, trying to hold goodies back. Waist like a rose book, cheeks fucking really bad. I'm clown big, old school, squeezing on a boom. Plugged up, talking in a place, what you wanna do? Nice dance on your body, nigga coming out your pores. East ish, in right, you flame for some drawers. You can call me Mr. Whipper, I go in the army. Never to the charming, come holla at me, woman. Googly moo, that thing is juicy. Good 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 googly moo, that thing is juicy. I'm a P.I.M.P. with diamonds on my teeth. I step in the light, man, my mouth is shiny. A ghetto star in the street, shopping and cut the key. They all wanna get with me. These girls be begging, please. They call me the juice man. I love a strip tease, a girl with a lot of air. That's down to get a knee. Beat that thing like it stole something. Come a little hold something. Put this down, fill up my and then she owed something, showed something. Being on the scene when I first seen them James team with that booty, it's a dream team. Make it go, go, whoop it down like a yo-yo. But I had to pop a blue, cause I'm on Antonio. That thing is juicy.
Claims as part of a buyback, he says that the marshals have dealt with Sonny and his shop before to know that Sonny is doing this. I'm assuming he's doing it with authorization from the ATF and the Marshal Service.
Mac, are you?
I've never been told about it. Nothing's came across.
Does he have any paperwork? Anything he can furnish with us? Anything he can send to us now?
He may not himself.
So
I'm trying to get in touch with somebody that's actually in charge of Spartan.
yeah. You see where that kind of puts us, right? It's like we can't just take his word on it, unfortunately.
No, I do understand where y'all are. My biggest thing is that I'm trying to avoid this guy paying a hefty fine for something just to get it thrown out in court. I'm also trying to avoid, the obvious issues of him like wearing an ankle monitor.
I mean, he's an upstanding citizen. He's got a good job. Like you said, this is just a misunderstanding, I'm sure. So the ankle monitor shouldn't really be an issue, right? I mean, I'm open to suggestions. Like, I'll explain to you what we have here. What we have is a man who his blood is all over the scene of a robbery. They showed back up to the scene, and in the process of them talking, he declared, I have an unregistered weapon and I put it in the back of this vehicle. That is the first I'm hearing about a robbery with his blood on the scene. Yeah, so here's what happened. Here's how this all started, just so I can explain it to you. I was, observing a point of interest in an area, and I heard a gunshot down by that. There's 916. There's a repair shop down there, whatever. You can go repair your car, and it's also a place where criminals go and they wash money. So I looked, and in the back, I see a masked man with money on his back near the money thing, right? And there's a Sandy Pawn vehicle, the van for Sandy Pawn, in the front of the business with its doors open. So as I'm observing, I see the guy, the masked man, come out of Sandy Pawn, come out of that building, go into the Sandy Pawn vehicle. I see a gunshot go off somewhere. I couldn't see where it came from, but I see the window explode. It might have just been him getting in the car, to be honest. But then he comes out, gets in another vehicle, and leaves the area in a gray vehicle. So I call for LSPD to come over and see what happened. By the time I get there, he had been picked up. Whoever was inside of the garage, which was Chaz, which is whose blood was on the scene, he had been picked up by EMS. So we're investigating the scene. He comes back, says, I don't know what happened. I woke up in the EMS truck. They told me I was down here, and he scolded me for something he said he scolded him for scrapping parts, but he said he wasn't scrapping parts. So I was talking to him, and I said, so the weapon you had that you put in the car when we were talking, was it registered or not? Because initially when we talked, I said, hey, how you doing? I looked up his name. He has a license. He has he's got a weapons license. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk to you over here by this car. If you have anything you want to go put in the vehicle, go ahead and put this in the vehicle now. So he says, okay. So I talk to him, and he mentions, I put the weapon that I put in his car. He's like, I don't think it was registered. I'm like, I'm going to go get it. So I placed him in detainment, went over and talked to Redfield. He says, yeah, go ahead, you can go in the trunk. So I go in the trunk, and there's a bunch of backpacks, and then there's that weapon. So I'm like, all right, at this point in time, Terrence, I'm just going to detain you in regards to trying to figure out what's going on. I went back and talked to the other guy. He says it's not his weapon, not his gun. He didn't put it in there. He doesn't know anything about it. So at this point, you know, I have to go back to Terrence Redfield and say, hey, this guy says it's not his gun. He didn't put it in the trunk. It's in your car. You're going to be charged with possession for it. And then when we're going through Terrence Redfield's effects, we open that backpack. He happens to say, hey, yeah, also there's another gun in my backpack, but it's from the buyback program. So that's basically the story in a nutshell of where we're at. Like, I was actually initially concerned. I thought that, and I still think that Mr. Reinhold was down there washing money for Sandy Pawn bills, and then he got robbed by whoever else was down there and left. Because he did mention that he was looking for his vehicle, and his vehicle was like a Sultan or a gray Sultan, and it may be the vehicle that left the area. I'm not sure. But what I know is that there's a Sandy Pawn vehicle there. His blood's on the scene, Reinhold that is, and he works at Sandy Pawn. So obviously I wanted to talk to him initially and try to figure out what it was. And then in the course of our consensual conversation, he did declare that he had a unregistered weapon that he had stowed in the back of the vehicle. That's what started all this. So
I apologize for interrupting.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
So sorry. They just wanted me to let you know that Richard Espanola is on the way. I believe it's his manager.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. They just wanted to let me know.
That's fine. I mean, he's not going to be allowed down here. He's not an officer or anything. So anyways, here's where we're at.
He's coming to speak to the actual truth of the buyback program.
That's fine. So here's where we're at with this. So regardless of whether there is a buyback program or not, like, I'd love to see the documentation where they can prove that weapon came from some type of buyback program. I'm open to that. There's still the matter of the suppressed pistol, the suppressed AP pistol, right? That was in the trunk. Presumably, and we could say, you know, because we didn't see this happen, but we could say presumably that this AP pistol probably came from Reinhold, right? He probably put it in that trunk. We can't prove that. We can prove that it was in the trunk, and that he swears that it's not his. So it seems like if one of these guys will take possession of that pistol and take that charge, I mean, the Redfield stuff can probably go away. Possibly, if we can get some proof of the buyback program. But I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah, if it's all Chaz's guns and he put them in there, then Redfield's good. If Chaz says it's not his gun, then it has to be possession. So the guy, the other guy had possession of Redfield.
So we're not even we're not even talking about the one that was in his bag that he says is a buyback gun. We're talking about the one that he didn't even magically appeared in the trunk that he didn't know about. You know.
So I guess my
It's a sticky situation here because these guys are both, they both work at the gun stores. They're supposed to be upstanding citizens, but there's guns, that they should have.
AP pistols, yeah.
That is very awkward. I do understand the position you're in. I'm not, I'm not challenging it. This is definitely difficult. Sir, you were going to email me a copy of the report?
Is it done, Slam?
Oh no, I'm working on it now. I probably won't be doing that. I'm not gonna email it. I have to get that from the MDT when it's done or whatever. If this goes to trial. I'm working on it now. I don't know if it'll be done by the time this is done, but I mean it'll be done at some point.
Operating as a private attorney, I'm not given access to MDT, so I kind of have to rely on officers being polite enough to send me reports.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't give you access to that stuff?
Nope. Groping blindly in the dark, sir.
You don't even have access to the MDT to see what the charges or anything are?
No, sir.
Well, that needs to be fixed. That can't work for you. Like, how could you possibly do your job effectively?
Typically, kind-hearted officers. It's been the go-to. I've also been taking mostly civil things.
So here would be my question:
down for criminal.
Are you going to be intending to represent them beyond this situation, or just offer them legal advice here? Because here's what I would say.
I'm offering them legal advice here, which I need to go have a conversation about the gun because it belongs to one of them. It has to.
It does. The thing is, like I said, both of them have good jobs and they don't want to lose them. But what's going to happen is they're both going to end up losing them if nobody pleads to it.
Wonderful. Do you have a weapon on you?
Goodness gracious, that's a great question. Yes, I do.
Is it registered?
Yeah.
Should we play this game again with the whole?
No. Go.
Is it
go
a
put it in your
machine
trunk, come back in
gun?
here.
Is it a machine gun that you're gonna put away like the
Hey,
last
Oh
guy?
yeah, I got a real big machine gun between my legs, buddy. Let me tell you.
All right, go
I
ahead.
got a real
Trunk,
big
come back
machine
in
gun
here.
between my legs, buddy. Let me tell you, it is a big.
Hey, how you doing? Espinola, I should say. What's going on? Hello?
Yours?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just trying to speak up a little bit for you there.
Now you had some. Did you have some documentation for me? Something, or so you had some questions, concerns, or something in regards to, I guess Redfield and this other guy who got arrested tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was called for while these gentlemen were in the cell. I mean, goodness, I have been trying to get a hold of both of them for the last maybe hour or two, and you know, they're being arrested for what? An order that I made, and not to mention, I mean, goodness, those guns are a part of a buyback program. You know very well about that. I mean, I don't know why you're giving them such a hard time when you know even Sonny Barger was the one that we started this program. So it's like, I just don't understand why you're giving two law-abiding citizens a problem when they weren't even caught in the act of crime, sir. I mean, again, I understand you're doing your job. I understand you're doing your job, sir. There's an order.
The two weapons were. Which two weapons were in the buyback program?
To be honest, it's not just particular two weapons, it's all weapons, sir. Goodness, if I could take an AK off the streets, I'm going to take an AK off the street. So, I mean, are you going to tell me that's wrong? I mean, would you rather criminals have it or what?
If I'm gonna roll around with a class 2 in my trunk, I mean, I probably want to have some documentation about a gun buyback, or maybe even better, if you're gonna do a gun buyback, maybe keep them at the
Can I
ammo
help you,
store,
sir?
keep them at Spartan. You know,
Oh yeah, I just
maybe
want
don't
to
roll around with them in your car.
Okay, we're U.S. Marshals. We're not
That's a
police
great
officers.
idea. Now,
It's a private
granted, if
conversation.
the city actually
I mean,
gave us
you might
documentation
still
to
have
prove
jurisdiction
that
with the
there
option
was
that I'm
actually some
trying to
sort of
see.
program,
No.
that would be very good. But as far as it goes, it's something that's discussed
So-
between the marshals and Sonny Barger.
So you just got word of mouth that there's a gun buyback program. I mean,
Oh, no.
you keep saying that we know about it. Neither of us have heard about a gun buyback program. So
Interesting. So the time that's very funny, because the time that you guys came and spoke to, well, maybe not you, sir, but I remember Slammers particularly talking to Sonny Barger, and there was an incident where Terrence was again caught with a suppressor on our premises, and y'all were trying to arrest him even then.
I've never
So what
met
I don't
Sonny
get is
Barger.
you've never met Sonny Barger?
You're thinking of Rico, and that was when we caught his trunk full of suppressors, and those were from a buyback program as well. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, goodness, both times. Sonny Barger may have explained that to Rico. So again, maybe it
that's
wasn't
what
you,
it
but-
is. Okay, that makes more
Well,
sense.
Again, I'm telling you, man. Like I ain't trying to bullshit you here. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing we
I mean,
do.
you're trying.
Um,
You are trying. You're just not succeeding.
I mean,
sir.
that's the funny. All you happen to see is bullshit, no matter who tells it to you. So I mean, goodness, I could.
No,
I'm gonna fill your ear up full of shit, then I'm gonna fill your ear up full of
this
dudes.
is what
then.
I'm saying. This is what. Hang on.
I've been
hang
a
on.
straight
This is
shooter
what I'm
for a
saying.
while.
This is what I'm saying. All right, you guys can call it a gun buyback. You can yell it. You can try to use it as a get out of jail free card for packing around class 2s. If there is a gun buyback program, then you guys need to be a lot more fucking strict about what's going on with these guns, because I shouldn't be finding them in trunks of cars. Right, a gun buyback. I don't know if you know how a gun buyback works, but after they do one, the gun stores don't just throw them into the back of their car and drive around the city for the next 6 months.
No,
They
we do
normally
not.
get destroyed, or they get whatever. But they're not. So if you guys really want to do this gun buyback shit, I would highly recommend you lace up your fucking boots and do it the right way, instead of trying to use it as a get out of jail free card to pack them around.
Absolutely
Because
not.
that's not happening. Because this is what's gonna happen.
I'm about a
If you
cut
don't
hair
have-
away from charging this guy with obstruction, Mac. We're coming
Yeah,
down here
so,
and
like,
filling
listen, if we're not-
my ears with nonsense.
So listen, if you guys want to do it, that's fine. You guys need to get your paperwork in line. Without any paperwork, he can say that a unicorn gave him those fucking class 2s, and it weighs just as much on the scale of truth as saying that you guys are doing a gun buyback.
I mean, look, like I said, there are kinks to be worked out. I didn't invent
sure
this.
are.
I'm definitely going by what I'm doing. And as Slammer knows, I'm very compliant when it comes to almost everything. Goodness, the only thing I'm not compliant with is taking off my clothes for y'all, because you ain't my wife. Shoot.
Exactly. Well, we're not asking for that, but what we are
You know?
asking for is that if you guys are gonna do a gun buyback, you guys need to get it straightened up, and you guys need to come up with a protocol. So that way, when we do find a guy and he's breaking your protocol, which I would assume, rolling around with a suppressed class 2 in the trunk of your car,
And not declaring it to the police, and having another one in your bag and not
police
declaring it to the
immediately.
police. Yeah.
not immediately saying, "Hey, this is what's going on," waiting for us to stumble upon it and getting put in cuffs to then come up with the great excuse we need a gun buyback. If you guys really want to do this, you guys need to do it right, because this, just telling us it's a gun buyback and then hoping and praying to God that we're gonna let you guys walk around with class 2s. That's not gonna happen. So,
Hey man, like I say, if they were in commitments of a crime, I look, I'm the first one to tell y'all both, you need to lock them up and do what you do. But I'm telling you,
that's wonderful then, because they were.
So I'm gonna tell you what they were doing.
Too, so
one of them had
good.
meth on him. He's
So one of
being
them
charged
had
with
meth
that.
and a
Meth?
gun.
What
So
the fuck
that's,
you mean,
yeah,
meth?
so that's,
Yeah,
so
your
now that
boy.
Now that we're clear, that
What's that guy's?
one
Which one
is
was
going
that?
to jail.
Reinhold. Reinhold had the
Yeah,
meth
right.
on him.
Since
Yeah,
he was
forgot
running around
about
with
that.
meth and a silenced AP pistol.
Yeah.
So now that we're all in the clear that the ones that break the law and are committing a crime with a class 2 should go to jail. Now that we've got that cleared up, is there anything else that we need to talk about?
oh, absolutely. So that order that he actually had in his possession was definitely mine. So I believe there were some combat pistols that were supposed to come with full attachment.
There were.
You
You know how many of the full attachment combat pistols?
Goodness gracious, man. I mean, I usually order 5, 10 at a time. I
Okay.
mean, it's only what the store can take.
So did you normally order combat pistols with combat pistols with suppressors and extended clips on them?
Absolutely
magazine?
not. It should come with all the legal attachment. I mean, goodness, am I supposed to specify that I don't want it with the legal attachments? Now, come on, man. When I place an order, I say I want it with all attachments that it comes with, all the bells and whistles. That doesn't mean every single thing, drum, this, that, and the other. I mean, it literally just means.
Hold on. Is it normal?
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to tighten up that lie a little bit. Because what you just said made no sense. So yeah,
I gotta walk
I'm gonna
away.
take a little spin around the block.
Oh my goodness. Let's just arrest him for obstruction and put him with those guys.
Here, let's circle back on this.
Let's circle
You
back.
go ahead and, like I say, you charge them if you need to charge them. But as far as I know, ain't nothing going on. You can't prove nothing either. I placed that order for those 5 attachments. And
You
if
have a
there's
copy of
anything
that
illegal
order?
on them, you could. Yeah, yes, I certainly do, and I'll provide it to the lawyer as soon as as soon as it's asked for.
Wonderful. You can argue to the judge. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah. But hey, y'all can argue your case to the judge too. But as far as
I appreciate
goes,
you coming down here
I
and
mean,
talking
you
to
really
us.
don't
sir.
have too much,
The case is. Oh, this is the case. Possession.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's all right.
Uh-huh.
We won't argue.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm.
Hey,
Thank you for coming
you're
down here
arguing
and
with
talking
the wall,
to me.
buddy. You're arguing with the wall.
Thank you for coming down here. I appreciate you doing your best, and it means a lot. You're doing your best for your people, man. I'd expect nothing less, sir.